When I dig a little darling, about an hour ago.
All right, we are live. What is really going on? Podcast here with MC Spectacles, aka Mr. Carcass, Billy Carcass. What's up?
Hello. Not too
I'm
bad, not too bad.
Howie Hippie. I'm a hippie guy. And apparently, I'm now a predator.
Yeah, I heard. Yep. Join the club.
I'm a weirdo. Uh, Ladies don't like. Let's just say, all you people out there listening who are zero. Most of the ladies don't like when guys are friendly to them. When the guy looks a little weird, it's a little too much for a lot of ladies. If you look weird, don't try to be too forward with anybody, or don't even really talk to anybody, or you will be considered a creep. Let's see. You sharing it? We're gonna share it. Yeah, we got 4 people. What's up, people? You're tuning in to a Facebook Live podcast. That's the way we do it because that's how we are. Not enough
Hey,
people are on YouTube. What's up,
hey,
Will?
share. Did you post that on my timeline? The video.
I think I did.
Okay,
Is it working?
cool.
Wait, is
Let's
it
see.
working?
Let me see real quick.
All right.
Make
Live
some
now.
make some stimulating live. When I say that.
Stimulating live. All right, here we go. Sharing it to your stream. There we go.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hopefully your people will get to watch. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't.
Oh, I know.
We had them in the comments the other day.
All right. So you're a creep. You're a creep.
I'm officially a creep now, according to the Curry station. It's Curry. Everything's Curry here in Tacoma. First, let's talk about how dumb that is. It's a mountain. It's a hill. Not everything's Curry. You don't even know what that word means. It's appropriation. You named all your businesses off after a hill, like 4 of your roads. And come on.
It's classical. It's military, right? It's a military history.
At least call it, yeah, it's military, but guess what? You can at least call it Curry Coffee. Come on.
Yes.
That's right there. It's right
there
for you.
What is it called? Mount Curry?
Station. The Curry Station.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, the Curry Station has banned me from their premises. For nothing.
You got banned.
I did. I got banned. I annoyed someone. I think that's the best way to describe it. I look weird and I annoyed somebody. Can't do that in America. Well, at first I thought that it was because I posted Black Lives Matter stuff on my Facebook. So I went kind of conspiratorial with it. It's like, oh, that guy's a cop. Maybe he didn't like my political postings or something. But no, it was some girl thought I was harassing her, and I don't even think of her. I wanted to talk.
Come on.
What?
Look at you. You're white. You're male. You're a little older. Yeah. You're a born natural rapist. You're a rapist. You know you are. You're ingrained rapist.
That's what the feminists would want you to believe. But guess what? I would like to have a conversation, drink some wine, be friends, right?
Have some chicken, some wine. Take her out for a nice fish dinner, and never call her again.
And I would to that girl. At this point, yeah, I'd be like, you deserve a nice date, and then I'd break it. No, see, yeah. I thought we were cool, man. That's what's weird. It's like Huh? That's my
Yeah.
face. That's my face. Like when the guy was like, "Oh wait, I want you around here." Uh,
You know, it's happening too. It's happening all over the place. Because, like I said, when I said that, I didn't get banned, but I got labeled creepy because
mm-hmm.
I was just flirting. I was flirting, and you weren't even flirting. I've
No,
been My filter's gone where I'd flirt. I just flirt. I'm
that's
trying to
worse.
find a wife. I'm trying to find somebody to date, so I flirt a little bit. But it's harmless flirting, and
You're just being a
so
person. That's a normal
just
thing to
just
do.
just being a dude, just being a
Yeah.
dude. So what do women think that their boyfriends and their husbands are or were? They had
And
to be a creep at some point. They had to be a creep. They had to go in and make a move or something like that.
that's it.
So
It's because you're the wrong guy. I think it's because women are afraid of rejection. That's what I've gotten from it. They're scared of rejection. They don't want to
I'm
reject.
afraid.
They don't want
Yeah,
the guy to be sad, right?
yeah,
So they get them banned from from their workplace. I guess that's I
yeah,
guess that's
yeah,
normal. Is that
yeah.
normal?
It's new. It's normal now. Yeah, because I feel like I've been banned from my apartment complex because not only did the girl that I scared and made intimidated. Not only did she not she just sort of act weird to me, but she also used that to poison people around her. So
Wait,
she wouldn't keep it to herself. She couldn't
right.
keep it to herself. I've been here 3 years, and I've never been called anything like that or like thought of
Your
as anything other than a nice guy.
your
And
neighbor
now
your neighbor said that she was saying you were creepy.
Oh, I was trying to talk to her about it, and she ran into a neighbor's house just to get away from me. So that made the situation even worse because now I'm thinking she's legitimately scared of me. So now
Mm.
that makes me try harder to say, no, I'm not, I'm not. And
Right.
you can't. You
It
can't
kind of
do anything. Once that creep label's on there, you can't do nothing about it. You cannot
yeah.
do nothing about it. You're gonna be a creep and you're gonna be banned everywhere. It's a
Well,
shame.
I've always thought that because of the way my face looks, but let's face
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it's happening, dude. Dude, yeah, but this girl, like, she's a strong person, right? Like, I thought she was.
I,
She
I
seemed,
thought, yeah,
she seemed pretty independent,
I thought the
right?
same thing with this one too. Yeah,
Hey, look at me. I'll cuddle with somebody. I'm not a creep. I.
yeah.
It's just wild.
Creeps don't fantasize about cuddling. That's
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying.
Yeah,
That's
I
for damn.
fantasize about like just taking a girl out to a movie or something. You know,
Yep. Yep.
getting to know
Like,
somebody. Oh yeah, that's a real creepy move. Oh yeah, that's
I want
creepy. Heck,
to. Apparently, what creeped her out
so
was
creepy.
that I messaged her and she didn't message me back.
And then you
So
message her again.
well, that was only five. It was like 7 times over the course
Yeah,
of like a year. It was
yeah, but
like, what's going
still,
on? She straight ghosted me, but I guess is it five? Five's the limit.
it's
But
probably three now. It goes to low, high, fluctuates. It's like English rules. It's like the Oxford comma is good, and then the Oxford comma is not good, and then adverbs are good, and then Stephen King comes along and says adverbs aren't good. You
right.
don't know. You don't know what they're talking about. They just
Yeah, I
got this
don't.
secret circle.
I don't even know what anyone's pronoun is anymore. Eventually, it's going to be like pronoun.
Yeah,
Pronoun.
yeah.
Have you ever been called dude? I've never. That's what I was telling my buddy. Like I've
Let's
never.
just say this for the people listening. This is an intro to the coronavirus, so
That's
we're going to
right.
have much more to come, much more informative stuff to come.
Yeah.
But this is a few people venting about something near and
That's
dear
right.
to our hearts.
Well, it's necessary to talk about. People need to hear about
Yeah,
men's rights, man. Like
yeah,
what happened to the guys? The guys that
yeah.
are of all this stuff, right? I mean, even if you're talking about pop culture, there's this guy Chris
Mhm.
D'Elia. He did some weird stuff, right?
Yeah. I heard that. Yeah.
But it didn't. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as the kids made it out to be.
Yeah.
He didn't get any redemption, right? Where's he at
Hmm.
now? So check on that guy. Uh, there's another dude that like was falsely accused, and everybody
Hmm.
canceled. And
Uh-huh.
then they, he's not really around anymore. Chris Hardwick, that guy, yeah.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember him. Yeah.
And I'm not saying Me Too is not a good thing, but do it to the right people. Like
Yeah, I know. I know.
I work right next to you. I don't call you. I don't text you. I don't say, "Hey, you want to bang?" I work there. I literally work next to the Java station. I walk over to the Java station, have a cup of coffee. If she happens to be working, I say hello. The other day, and this is weird. It's just weird that it got to that point because I always thought we were on good terms. She was never
Yeah.
like, she never looked at me like that. She treated me like a person. So like
Hmm.
that's things that I'll say about this, right? For one, use your words. You don't like somebody, tell them. It's
Yeah.
not that bad to be a. Don't fake be nice to me, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
literally just say it. Like
Yep.
that'll let me know not to even try to be your friend because it's no weight off my back.
Yep.
And the second thing, grow some freaking ovaries.
Yeah, exactly.
What I
Exactly. Why so much fear? Why so much
Yeah,
fear? Rape has
if
gone down. You
exactly.
hardly hear about rape.
It's not only that. It's not only that. Like I know this person, right? And it's like if
Yep.
what I was doing, me coming in and getting some coffee and joking around or whatever I was doing with her, if that's harassment in this day and age, we got some
Screwed.
sissies out here, dude. Like we got some
Well,
real sissies.
it's probably because if she didn't respond to your comments and you kept on sending her messages, that
Mm-hmm.
probably that probably somehow got in her head like, oh no, he's got intentions or something. But
Oh, friendship is intentions.
got intentions. Hey, I want to do a fun activity to start off with this coronavirus thing
All right.
because this mask, this is a
Yeah.
fun art project because I've been complaining that these masks are uncomfortable and that they stifle your that they stifle your oxygen and stuff. And
Yeah.
probably a lot of people out there feel the same way. So I found a pretty good solution. So I take
Okay.
this apparatus here and
Yeah.
just surgically just go along,
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Oh, that's much
Surg-
nicer.
yeah. So I just surgically cut around here like this, and you still have, because there's studies where the germs and stuff actually collect on the corners of the mask. So why not just cut out the middleman? And
You're wearing it. There you go.
now nobody can say I'm
You're not
not
wearing.
doing my part. I'm not doing my part. Nobody can say that now. You can't say it anymore, people. You
I'm
can't
proud of.
say it. I'm,
I'm.
it looks like panties around my face, but nobody's saying I'm not doing my part now. I'm wearing
Yeah.
my mask.
Yep.
I believe in mask.
Papa Fauci. He gives you mask. Papa Fauci.
I believe in this mask. I know that this mask right now, what's going
Yeah.
on with this mask, I know that all the spit particles and all that stuff are just collecting around this nice brim. See?
Yeah,
See?
sir.
Just
Yep.
right there, right here.
Yeah.
And even right here
Yep.
under gives me great beard support too. Wonderful beard
Is that
support.
exfoliating? It's
Yeah,
nice.
it exfoliates, sure. Yeah, it's very nice on your face too. Very nice. So Mask up, people. Mask up. There is hope. And then you take this and you wipe your posterior with it because it's very
Oh,
soft.
and do you put and you? But do you put it back on your face after that?
Yes, of course, because that traps fecal matter traps in the germs too, traps in the virus. So
Oh, okay.
smear fecal matter all over your mouth and lips and stuff, and that spittle collects in the fecal matter, and then it dries up. There you go. Health
And there
tips.
you go.
We're all
And,
doing health tips
and it's
here.
like, and I'll do all that while you're smoking.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
I mean that goes without saying. Come on,
Without
yeah,
saying,
goes without
smoking
saying.
cures.
So what you got? Do you got some coronavirus info for the intro?
Oh, it's information. It's
You got some
information, dude.
coronavirus info for the intro.
I mean, it's
That's all I
not
got.
really a lot of info. Okay, it's not
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
better
It's just
be. It better be because I didn't do anything with the notes. No, go ahead.
well, what I'm saying is it's a lot. It's not, but it's all just in my brain, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
Um, basically, coronavirus is an alien viral infection, right? Just like the
Yes,
Spanish flu, the alien virus came down from a comet. Because how the heck did an epidemic start in two different places on the same day? Where
I
did it come
know.
from?
Oh,
It
absolutely.
came from space. It came from space. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if there is a space, that's a completely different debate.
Yeah, yeah. There is that's something for another day, perhaps.
That's
Another
literally all.
podcast.
That's all I got,
So that's
dude.
it. So wait a minute, wait a minute. So
No,
aliens are involved in this thing.
of course, it's alien. It's
Oh,
either that or it's
that
the
explains it.
ice, dude, or the icebergs are melting, the ice sheath, all that stuff. The glaciers are melting. It's awakening ancient
Absolutely.
viruses that have been living underneath the earth. Okay,
No, it makes perfect sense to me.
right, and it makes sense to me, dude, because it has to, because that's the way, that's the world we're living in, bro.
Ancient
You know,
aliens. Everything is explained now by the ancient aliens. Everything.
it's all of
It's
it.
funny. You meet a
So yeah,
lot of people. You meet a lot of people that don't believe in God and stuff, but they believe that the ancient aliens came and manufactured us and orchestrated things, and we're there to mine gold for them and stuff, and all these higher intelligences. And it's
yeah.
funny how ancient aliens and God are just kind of replaced. Like if you want to believe ancient aliens have godlike powers or God has godlike powers, but that's just a rant. So
Isn't
ancient
it?
aliens made the coronavirus. That's your
Yeah.
strategy. Well, what about the
Oh, it is.
layman that? What about the layman that wants to talk about the medical ramifications and the efficacy, the efficacy of the mask or
Oh man.
stuff like that? Don't you have information about that the layman, because the ancient aliens, that's just a higher knowledge that the layman, just the plebeians among us don't understand.
Well, but it is
I,
because we
I,
are
I mean, I got a semen encrusted hat.
also ancient aliens. We are. We're ancient aliens ourselves, right,
I,
William?
are we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where'd you
Wait a
come from?
minute.
You came from Mars. Didn't you come from Mars? You came from Mars, dude, right?
I think so. Mars is the one where women come
I
from,
mean,
right? I'm really a woman. I'm from Venus then. Mars men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I'm from Venus. I hail from Venus. So
because
let's see. Now,
Is
the
that
the big thing the big thing that pisses me off about the coronavirus, right, is these
okay?
masks. When you're wearing this mask, when I'm wearing my mask right now and I'm safe. But if I wasn't to wear this mask, if I had this mask off of my face and people would see my mouth and all that stuff and the upper portions of my mustache and all that stuff, they think you're going to kill me.
Mhm.
Back off. You're going to kill me. You don't have a mask. You're going to kill me. And I was wondering where the heck that narrative comes from because the death rate in the US, 180,000 people have died in the US from coronavirus. That's a fraction of 1% of the population have died from the coronavirus. And then
Mhm.
worldwide, 870,000 people worldwide, that's 0.011%, have died worldwide. So even that, when somebody's saying, back off, you're going to kill me. What are you trying to kill me? You don't have a mask and you're spitting on me and stuff. That is going under the assumption that this thing is a killer. And I'm thinking, where are the statistics at? Where are the statistics that back that up that this thing is a killer? If anything, it's a sickener. It gets you sick. And
Hmm.
so I'll just that's one of the things that the narratives are funny. Like what do you think about that?
Well, I think that the way that you know, are you saying that because it doesn't kill a lot of people,
Hmm.
that it's not a killer? Is that
Yeah.
how we're supposed to look at that stuff? But look at, I mean, it's only been around for what, 7 months, maybe longer, maybe a little bit longer, right? 7 months.
Hmm.
It's already killed
Hmm.
more, than cancer this year, right? In that 7 months, it's killed more than it's one of the leading causes of death, right? So you're talking about a prolonged pandemic where people are getting sick, and the chances of you dying from that, right? 97% chance of survival. So it's 3% chance of you dying. Um, I think it has to do with knowing that, right? Because there's a greater chance. Me and Nick were talking about this the other day. There's a better chance of you dying from a car accident, right?
Hmm.
Pretty pretty straightforward. Cause of death. It's like
Hmm.
um so it's knowing that. It's like, all right, it's right here. I know the mortality rate. I know if I get it, I don't want to get it, right? It's not like, oh, because if we lived in the same kind of fear, you're making a pretty good point. If we lived in the same kind of fear that we do for coronavirus about everything, we wouldn't walk anywhere. I mean, we would walk everywhere, right? We'd
Isn't
never
that what
get.
the media is trying? Isn't that what the media is trying to do?
Well, see, that's the thing though. Cars. This is where I'm trying to get to. Is cars are there's safety precautions about how to safely drive.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we know that. We know how to make it less deadly and we can control that, right? The thing about the virus is it's not controlled. It's not something we have any real control over except for put my mask up. That's the only thing I got, right? To say that I'm
Yeah.
helping you
Hmm.
out, to feel
Yep.
safe about me breathing on somebody or being around somebody. Because
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I have it. If I know I don't have it, I'm breathing all over everybody, right?
Yeah, like if I didn't have this thing on right now, then I'm sure there'd be spit coming all on the monitor.
Probably. But see, and it would spit and you just spit all over everything. But I guess what I'm saying is there's a difference between it because we can control it and we have measures to stop it, right? So somebody says, "Oh, if you're breathing on me, you could kill me." That is true, right? It's always been true. But if it also depends on the community spread in the area, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So if you have low community spread in the area, um, there's less of a chance of you meeting somebody that has it. you know, or that person taking you out with their breath. But if you're in a big city, man, and you're breathing all over people, and that virus is everywhere,
Hmm.
say like down in Georgia right now where I'm at, it's almost dangerous, right? Because even if if you have it, right? Let's do the averages, right? You want to do the
Hmm.
average? If you got it, sir,
Okay.
and the average person that has it transmits it to 4 people, right?
See, these are all hypotheticals.
The truth. It's what they're tracking it very well in South
Okay.
Korea.
Okay.
The rate of spread is always. I mean, it's always a thing that they've done. They do it with the flu. That's why they're
Yeah.
not as concerned about the flu. Because like the rate of spread for the flu, because you have it basically, and then you're quarantined, and then boom, you're good. You keep on going. But with
Hmm.
coronavirus, it seems like it's different. It's like you're asymptomatic, you don't know. So say you get one of those 4 people on average sick,
All right.
right? And then
Hmm.
people also, so it depends on who those people are, right? So if you're willing to risk having it and infecting 4 people, that's on you, right? That's a thing. But you don't know how their body's going to react to it, right? You don't know how their body's going to take, you don't know their immune, anything like that. And if you look at the demographics of people it targets people, right? It targets certain demographics, right?
I suppose.
It does. It's old people, it's sick people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
So
so the case fatality rate by age under 55, none. Under 35, nearly none.
what?
And like they had a test where they said that they had a graph of the SARS behavior, the behavior of the
Where's
virus in
that
SARS.
from?
I don't know.
What was that?
I
Where did
don't
you
know.
get
You have
that?
to
What
look that
source is
up.
that?
You have to look
What
that
was
up.
it?
I don't know.
It's
What?
fatality.
I
You
think
said
that was
you said.
I, I I think that was the Liberty Report. That was a Liberty Report. Ron Paul
Oh
Liberty
yeah.
Report.
Oh,
So
okay.
the same curves in the graph of SARS behavior was the same
You said.
pattern of coronavirus,
Let me
influenza
repeat
numbers.
it. Though. Let me repeat it. I gotta
All right.
stop. I'm already having to fact check it, bro.
Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead.
said the fatality rate of people
Yeah.
under 50 is 0.
Yeah.
So no one under 50 has died from corona.
Under 55, none.
What?
Well, here, I'll give you a few examples. I'll give you a few examples. All right.
That's
The te-
amazing. Will, that's amazing. We're gonna. All right,
all
I'm
right.
writing that one down.
You
I'm
you
writing
got
that one down.
you got
It's a
Texas.
banner.
You got
I'm making
Texas.
it a banner. Okay.
All right, you got Texas. The Department of Health in Texas claimed that death of those
Yeah.
under age 19 represents 0% of the population. So under 19 in Texas, the Texas Department of Health said 0% of the population. You got this all throughout the United States, all throughout the world. And then you mentioned Korea. And
It's 7.
Korea right now is protesting. They're protesting. They're saying nobody's dying here, and they're locked down the worst. They're making them wear the mask the most, and they're
Mm-hmm.
actually protesting in Korea right now. I try to find that with you, but it's kind of
Hmm.
hard to.
Well, South Korea actually went a different way at the beginning. They said, they for a while there they weren't doing anything.
Hmm. Yeah, it says South Koreans protest on the streets to end mask and lockdowns. So,
Oh, so you're just saying there are some Americans there.
oh yeah, that's right. Well, you mentioned South Korea, and that's the one thing that I happened to look up, and it said they're protesting. They said nobody's dying here, but yet you're locking us down. You're making us wear masks and all this, and the same thing that's going on in Hawaii. Hawaii, there are no cases of death. And
Yeah.
the Hawaii's being locked down. They're quarantined for 15 or so days, and then they're saying nobody's dying in Hawaii. It's all cases. Isn't that
Right.
suspect when the narrative changes from deaths, flatten the curve, to cases?
Well,
Why are
deaths,
they flat? Yeah.
well, deaths in a certain state, that's a good thing. I'm not going to politicize that at all. Good. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. Would you, if everybody wore, seatbelt, if everybody wore a seatbelt and that prevented all deaths from, right, all
Mm-hmm.
severity, blah, 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 and then you realize nobody's dying from car accidents anymore because of seatbelts and certain measures they put in, would you be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm going to protest. Why do we have these safety measures in our cars? Would that make any sense to you?
Well, the seatbelt thing is funny because there's a lot of incidences where seatbelts actually cause the death because there's a lot of
Right.
dangers behind seatbelts. So maybe they should be allowed to choose. Do I want to fly through the windshield and maybe go limp like a lot of people that say when they're drunk and they fly through the
Hmm.
windshield, they go limp. It doesn't hurt them as much or something. Do I want to hit a
Right.
windshield or do I want to maybe risk breaking my neck or something with a seatbelt? I mean, I'm just saying that everybody's using that example as a seatbelt. Let me give you
Right.
this instance.
You
Um,
better fact check that.
the annals of internal medicine. It was a
Yeah.
study, and they studied the secondary causes, and
Mm-hmm.
so they traced 3,400 close contacts of 390 cases to find secondary infections. So
Cool.
they want to see the spread of it. They want to see the rate of the spread and stuff like that.
Yes.
So 3,400 people were being studied who were in close contact with 390 cases that had the actual coronavirus. They found
Mm-hmm.
out that 260 with severe symptoms infected 16 people. All right, so that proves your point. It spreads, right?
Mm.
1,469 moderate symptoms, they infected 82 people. All right. 576 mild symptoms infected 19 people. So going down,
Right.
going down, going down.
Yeah.
Predictable. 305 asymptomatic people infected. How many? Guess how many 305 asymptomatic people infected
There's
in
so
this
many
study.
variables. There's so many variables that go into
Just
that. But
just
I'll
throw
say
out a number though. Throw out a
it's
number.
probably zero. It might be zero. Yeah.
That was close. One person. So
Okay.
asymptomatic people affected 305 asymptomatic people infected one person. And
Yeah.
they're trying to make this the scourge. Asymptomatic people are going to kill grandma. Mia Beulah.
You're talking about 305 people, right? You didn't factor in if they wore masks or not. You didn't factor in if they socially distanced or not. That study has so many flaws when it comes to the variability of breathing on a motherfucker.
It might not
You know?
have the flaws. You might have to just go into the context and study it, see how it was. I don't know if it mask or non-mask or something.
That might
Um,
matter, right? I mean, how close were they to the people? You know?
yeah.
Were they
So you're,
were they people? Were they
but that,
licking people?
but that's going on the assumption that masks prevent this. That's how I say that's based on assumption,
Well,
and a
you're
lot of the,
asymptomatic people don't spread it if they're breathing, they're coughing, right?
yeah,
But I
not
think
as
that's
much. It's not that
not
deadly.
bad.
It's not that dangerous.
All right, so
And couple that with the fact that it's not a killer because I read you the statistics of the deaths. So couple that with the fact that it's not a killer and that asymptomatic people, only a small amount of those people
all right,
or a large amount of those people are going to infect a small
you
amount of
see
them.
that? You see that, Will? See that there?
Yes.
See that banner? That is empirically
Yeah.
incorrect.
Yeah. It was something I misread. I misread that.
Yeah, I'm just messing with
I'm
you.
no, that's funny. It's a
Yeah,
big pink
yeah.
banner. saying I'm an asshole.
It's not true. So yeah, there's a lot of good. That's good news, right? But the call, I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of hate on both sides, right? It's like
Oh, hate, blah, blah, blah. Science doesn't care about hate.
exactly. So I got some stuff to show you.
Show me
Just see
to
what
it.
you think.
Show it. Show me,
I got
boy.
some stuff. I got some stuff to show everybody.
Well, while you're doing that, let me just quote this too, real quick.
All right.
Why, if this stuff is so genuine, do you see evidence of doctoring numbers and all that type of stuff? So there's
Um.
the recent came out is a Kansas scandal. The Department of Health and Education, a guy, Lead Norman, who was a part of the Department of Health and Education, he faked a
Mhm.
chart. He changed the axis of a chart having the counties that have mask policies to the counties that don't have mask policies. He changed the axis of that chart to make a false appearance that counties without a mask had more cases of coronavirus. And he was caught doing it. He had to admit that he did that. And the real chart proved the exact opposite, that counties that weren't masking up had the least amount of cases. So
Hmm.
it's when the narrative
What,
breaks down, that's when people have to start lying. That's what I'm saying. There's deceit everywhere.
what, but what counties though?
It was in Kansas. So whatever lead, his name is Lead Norman. Lead Norman. That's a weird name. It's probably Leed.
Is there
And
even
then
community spread in those counties yet though?
what's that?
Was there even community spread in those counties yet?
Well, yeah, they had the charts that I'm sure the charts showed who had the virus and that type of thing. It was a virus basically by county who has the cases in this county and this county and this county, and I guess the way the lines were, it was like or not a deviation, but it was lines to separate unmasked counties to masked counties or something. So
Wait, I mean, it's people that. Well, that's the thing. Like I'm seeing it right now, right? Because it's got to be like
oh, nice, nice.
you know you know how Stevens County is not Stevens County. You know how science works. Obviously, you're a science guy. It's testing, 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 and then
Okay,
you prove it, right? So it's not just one. Here's a study. This is what's going on. It's like, all right, but what about in different demographics, right? What about in how does it react in an inner city? Where the virus is hit pretty hard and it's legit. I mean, call it not a killer. I mean, that's how weird this world is. That something can just come out of nowhere, kill almost 200,000 people, and we act like it's nothing. It's fine, right? Like
we
that's
did that
how.
with influenza last year and 2 years ago and 3 years ago and stuff.
No,
There's
no,
cases where
no,
influenza was more than the coronavirus by far.
dude, come on, man. Like look at the actual numbers though. Look at the numbers of
I
death
did.
per year. Both flu seasons, right? They're not even close to adding up to coronavirus. It's
Mhm.
half. That's the last two flu seasons have killed half of what coronavirus has in 7 months. All
That's
right.
because,
We also
okay,
don't have a vaccine for it. We have no real cure for it. And to say that it's just nothing, I feel like, and I'm going to talk to Nick about.
yeah,
it. I'm
yeah,
talking to you about.
yeah.
It's grief, man. It's
It's
denial. It's grief, dude. Like it's grief because it's like just see, like we watched 9/11 happen, right? And that's 3,000 people in one day, and that was horrible. We went through that, and that was terrible, right? Um, Pearl Harbor. You look at all those catastrophes that Americans have gone through together, right? There's no denying those towers, right? There's no denying those videos, those planes going into those towers. We know that, right? But something that kills exponentially more Americans and could potentially kill even more Americans, right? oh, that can't be true. Science
Mhm.
isn't real on it. I'm not going to even. I'm denying it. That's the first step. That's what grief is. Uh, no, it's not as bad as drunk driving. Oh, it's not as bad as blah blah blah. And it's like that's a denial. It's like the fact is right in front of your face. Am I? You know, it's right there.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It's like you gotta work through that. Not everything can be a conspiracy. You can actually grieve for your fellow countrymen, right? It's not the Democrats trying to kill you. It's not, the tinfoil won't save you, right? Shit is happening, and it's
I
just
don't know
terrible.
if Fauci says put some tinfoil on your head. I think people would.
Where's my goggles? Where are my goggles?
Yeah.
Where am I where are my goggles at? All right, I got a video. I think you like. I gotta find it. It's
Hold on.
basically
Let me.
proving that mask. Okay, go ahead.
All right. If you after I'll tell you this study, then you tell me your study.
Yeah,
Okay.
keep talking.
Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and Holland. They all have statistics that the masks are not effective. Then they quote the world's top epidemiologists. That's a hard word to say. Agree that masks don't work. Denmark, the numbers are low and there's no mandate at all.
Hmm.
But you can find that article. It says world's top epidemiologists agree that masks don't work, and it's a lot of them too. I think it's 500 of them
All right,
that
let me
were
look that up. Give me one
MD,
sec.
MDs, epidemiologists, and a few others. Yeah, look it up. World's
Can you
top
send it?
epidemi.
Can you
Yeah,
send it to me on Messenger? I'll pull it up on the screen.
I don't know. I'll try.
What? Come on. Come on, dude. It'd be great. Well, all of our
Okay.
one will look
It,
at it with you.
and when this started out in England, there were 30,000 excess deaths. So there was 30,000 excess deaths. They said they reported only 10,000 were from COVID. Others were from closing services that caused like the shutdown, the lockdown, the highly enforced rules, and so New York, so that's also the thing. You're causing deaths by shutting down services, and then when services are coming back, people are going to those services, and then they're being tested for COVID, and then they're saying these people have COVID when they might be in for like a hernia operation or something like that. They are cooking the books to make it
All right.
seem like it's worse. So even if you go from deaths, which the media did, the media said we are going to flatten the curve so we don't have the hospitals overrun. That was the whole point of this thing. That's what it started out with. Flatten the curve. Then after flatten the curve, they kept on pushing it and pushing it more. It suddenly stopped being flatten the curve. Then it was number of cases, and that's
Well,
all you see. Like Google search, it's hard to find the deaths.
same
You
thing.
can say cases all the
That's the
time.
same
Why are they
thing.
changing from deaths to cases? No, it's not. Only if the cases correspond with deaths, then that would be something.
Flatten the curve, right? Flatten the curve
Flatten the
of
curve meant
cases. So yeah,
Flatten the curve meant
it's
hospitals won't get overrun. That's what that meant.
yeah, number of cases. It's easy to find the deaths. It's right there on Google. They're in it. They're inundating us with it.
It
They
was
want
hard
us
to
to
find
be.
it, actually.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it
Just go to
was.
coronavirus stats. Where are you looking? It's on the
It
Google
was hard.
homepage.
It was hard to find it.
It's right there. John Hopkins. Literally, John Hopkins comes up. I just typed it in, and John Hopkins comes up to the number of cases.
So this is the reason why I don't
So,
trust any of
and
this
even if
stuff.
you look at that, yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you look at that number, we're so desensitized that number is like, it's not a million. Come
Are we
on, like what? That's who we are.
were, were we desensitized by influenza? People have been dying from influenza for years and years, and the numbers are
Yeah, we
astronomical
never
some
hear it.
years.
That's
And
because
then
most
and then
people get it, right? That's
and
because
then
most
look,
people get it. 60 million people get the flu. Okay, it's not
well,
astronomical when only 1% 0.1% of people are dying, right? That's different. It's a known fact. This is something new, and it's 3% of people. All right, I'll give you 2. All right, I'll give you 2.
Probably not even
Since
that.
they become, or you can't say that. All the science points to 4% is what it. That's just the statistics, right? So I'll even
I
give
don't
you.
know. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I don't know about that.
yeah,
All the
you do.
science that.
You you got to at least believe something. We ain't
I
China,
mean,
bro. Like China definitely lied about theirs.
okay.
You know.
Well, you brought up China, and a China study said asymptomatic people don't pass the virus to others, and a mass majority taking place involves affecting people in your own household and not solid surfaces.
Hmm.
So that's another lie. It might be if you don't believe China, fine, but if you're not believing China, you shouldn't believe America either. The CDC has been caught lying over and over again. They've been caught. We've been catching them doctoring their numbers. They've been caught like taking
Right.
cases of COVID. Like people have been getting in accidents and they've been calling it COVID cases and stuff. They've been doing that. That's a proven fact. The media has been caught lying about the mass graves in New York, saying that this is the reason. These are the result and the consequences of all these coronavirus deaths. And they
I
didn't
believe
say
that.
that the mass graves was. They didn't even say the mass graves were for people that didn't have families and stuff like that. And that's a common practice. So all these levels of deceit make me always question the narrative. And the first part of it is Tom Hanks comes out, big media star. Everybody thinks he's America's dad, right? And he says, I have coronavirus. And
Yeah.
then the NBA is the first organization to shut down their whole season right at the half. And all these things are just very suspicious. Like if the media wanted to push a narrative, that's what they would do to do it. They would get the celebrities on board. They would get the China connections with the sports and stuff. They would get a lot of people on board, and it would be hard because the same people that run everything usually run something else. I mean, Fauci doesn't just isn't just an epidemiologist. He's on boards. He's on boards of things. He's profited from all these things, you know. So, I mean, they're calling hydroxychloroquine. That's a hard one to say too. A 65-year proven medication. They're calling that like mystical science, you know. They're calling it super, you know. It's just weird, and they're not focusing on strengthening your immunity, right? They're just saying wear the mask, keep your social distance, all these little things that just happen to just correspond with what they want us to be like, just these automatons. But so what study did you bring up on that? You're frozen? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Matt is frozen. Some technical difficulties. Hopefully he can get in on the show. Still, we have a lot to talk about, but yes, I believe the coronavirus was fear-based, huge amount. And what has it done to this country right now? Who profits? Who is hurting? Well, one thing we know is the essential businesses, media, big companies, Walmart, Sam's Club, Lowe's, McDonald's, Amazon. I mean, I can't imagine how much Amazon's making from this. Alcohol sales are up 600%. So more people are drinking to forget their problems. More people are probably eating unhealthy things. They're not getting as much exercise because gyms are shut down, all this type of stuff. In the schools, it's been proven that the young don't die, and they're still shutting down the schools. Nobody can argue that the economy is worse. Nobody can argue that anxiety is up at a high level. The suicide rate is going up. I mean, these small businesses, the heartbeat of our society. Hey, oh, oh yeah. Hmm. Really? I wonder why. Do you have a pretty good connection? That's weird that when we start talking about, getting into the study and stuff. But right now we got a really good intro, I think. Yeah, because if we have to, we can just this could be part one. I mean part one of part one, and we could just try to get that together again. You can try to make another one. So, because you have this recorded, then, right? Yeah, yeah. So, because oh, okay, all right, cool. Man, that's weird. It's just crazy how stuff like that is. So I don't know because I don't know if I'm still recording. Oh well, if I am, I guess the people are just getting a break because I'm not doing anything. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Cool. So I ranted. So let's hear some of your because I had my little rant. So let's put yours in, and that way we have an even balance of podcasting. But but I see your point though because it does kill. I mean, if it's real, it kills. I just think that the hype in the media and the fear in the media is way overblown, and the media knows the influence they have on the people, and so through fear, they know how to steer thought patterns. But are you okay? You good? Sweet.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. We were talking on Messenger at the same time, so it was real weird.
Oh, that is
It was a double.
crazy,
It was a
man.
double whammy. All right,
It's
let's
like
see.
like a parallel
Um,
like a parallel universe or something going on.
I got one question for you. Like, let's just step back and assume that what's real is actually real, which is
Okay.
kind of tough to
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
What if Tom Hanks did have coronavirus?
Hmm.
Well, what was he supposed to do?
What do you mean?
You
What do you
know,
mean? Yeah. What do you
he just
mean?
had it. He got
Oh,
this new disease in Australia.
oh yeah.
Told people about it, and I guess it does go into the your It really does go into your whatchamacallit, your
Cons-
pedophilia conspiracy.
or yeah, all that. Yeah. Yeah. It's just very coincidental. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, but it is. But at the same time, there's I don't know how to explain it. Obviously, we don't want this thing to be real, right? I hope that that's the reason.
a lot of people are denying it is
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want it to be real. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what happens is people will see it, right? And they
Yeah.
see the evidence, they see what's going on, and they'll be like, all right, but, where did it come from? And then they look for,
Mm-hmm.
outlets. They look for outlets to blame. They look for all this stuff because you're like, certain part of grief is anger, right? Now, I gotta stop that, dude. You could go through all of them. You could
Yeah.
literally break down. You could break down the anti-maskers response by all levels of
Sure.
grief.
Sure. Because you could do that with anything.
Mm. Because it seems like a guy that says, "All right, maybe if 70% of my droplets are stopped by a mask, I might want to stop 70% of my droplets." That's not political. That's just normal, dude. If that is the case, right? And I've seen a lot of videos where it's like, all right, yeah, droplets are actually being stopped. But then we can have the debate of when does it aerosolize, right? Like when you sneeze, they don't actually know that, but what they're assuming is it slows down the aerosolation because it's trapped into fabric, it's in your droplets are in fabric, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, right? If I can block those droplets from coming near me, that seems like a reasonable adult reaction to reality. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't see why that would be sheeple, political, lefty propaganda. Like, how did that happen? How did it become so bipartisan that science is now partisan? I don't understand what happened here. Like, we're so divided. And I was listening to this thing about
I
what,
quoted you some of the experiments. That's why I
oh,
say the science differs. The science differs, and
well,
who
yeah,
decides
that's what I'm,
who does who decides what science gets out there? The big media companies.
well, nobody science things didn't happen or that they're not an interesting point, but this is all based on what we know from infectious diseases in the past, what they are, how they operate, our prevention measures since probably the beginning, since the Black Death, basically. Or that what's his name? The doctor, the middle-aged doctor.
No,
Remember? You remember that? You don't remember the doctor?
no, no. I don't.
You don't
Gotta be
remember doc?
specific. Gotta be more
Oh,
specific. Middle-aged doctor.
it's like the Black Plague mask, right, from the Middle Ages.
Mm,
Remember that? The
mm,
doctor used to wear them. Like a bunch of people have been wearing them around because of this whole COVID thing.
mm,
It basically looks like a beak. It's like a real weird beak mask that the doctors use. That and they thought that it stopped the Black Death, right? Like this is nothing new, right? This is nobody was like during SARS-1 was like, do they work? Do they not work? I don't know. Like the fact that they stopped droplets is a fact. Okay,
because in SARS-1, nobody tried to quarantine healthy people. This
that's
is,
because
to quote their term, unprecedented. Nobody
yeah.
tried to quote, nobody tried to quarantine healthy people. They're telling healthy people that don't have an inch of sickness that you have to wear a mask that gives you all types of breathing difficulties, and it might cause
Are
gums
you
disease and all types of
breathing
stuff. People stop,
breathing difficulties?
yeah, breathing difficulties. Yeah,
But I wear a mask.
hypoxia.
Well,
It's called hypoxia.
I
There's a New
wear
York. There's a New
a
York Post.
mask 12 hours a day.
You got a beard though.
12 hours a
You're
day,
used to it.
Will.
You got a beard though. You're used to
Doesn't
muffled
matter. And
oxygen.
I smoke a
Look
dude.
at that
It's
long
true.
ass beard
All
you
I'm
got.
saying is, it's a good one, dude. All I'm saying is, man up, dude. Damn, I
What?
smoke, and
Look,
I'm the snowflake. I'm a snowflake, right? You're sitting around talking about breathing
look at
difficulty because of the
look,
cloth,
look at his
and
butt.
and I'm a I'm a soft snowflake. I'm a little pansy. Come on, because I feel for people. Because I'm empathetic.
And,
Dude.
and it might cause candida in your mouth. It might
Oh,
cause a fungal infection. A New York Post article, a dentist said he's seeing cases of mouth odor, bad gums, decaying teeth, and he called it mask mouth, because all that stuff you're supposed to have your human body is a mechanism.
Oh.
Breathe in, breathe
Oh.
out. You ever hear that
Oh,
song?
I'm sorry.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe
What?
in, breathe
It
out,
traps it
breathe
in, or
in. Mask mouth. You're gonna get mask mouth. You're gonna get candida in your
you're
mouth.
so you're saying the mask works to keep bacteria in the mask, but not the virus.
It's
The ma-
causing your mask mouth.
It'll deplete your oxygen. It'll stop your oxygen, but it won't stop a virus.
And then
You're
you're
missing
being
my
asked.
dude. Will, you missed my point entirely.
Yeah, I know.
Well, think about it. Mask mouth from bacteria being kept in the thing, but the virus doesn't work on that. It works on bacteria, it works on your oxygen, but it won't work on the virus and your droplets. Come on,
See,
pick one or two.
that
You're
doesn't
proving
mean
that.
just. Well, I don't know how the virus moves inside the mouth or through the air currents or anything like that. But neither do you,
Well,
and
you
neither
should
do a whole lot of
oxygen
people,
moves,
and
don't
neither would Dr. Fauci either, because he hasn't seen a patient in 30 or 40 years. So he's a glorified salesman for big pharma. You know,
you?
there's a lot of epidemiologists that are coming out and saying that the masks don't work. I gave you a report
Yeah,
saying that all
you
the
said
MDs, they're saying masks don't work. Why aren't you hearing that in the mainstream media? At least for a point of opposition, at least to let people decide. Why in South Korea are they protesting this and say we're not wearing masks anymore? Nobody's dying. It's all a fear tactic. It's all a garment of servitude. It's just saying I'm going to go along with the status quo. And the people that disagree, they're being shamed. They're being shamed and intimidated. You're not wearing your mask. You're killing grandma. You're killing grandpa.
have you ever
It's
heard
a
of this? Have you ever heard of the psychology of a war to fight? It's basically exactly what it sounds like. People need a war to fight, right? We choose different sides, and then we decide to be a part of that war, right? And
you're
our
yeah,
side,
you're a part of the war where the people that are profiting from this shit is and I'm
I'll
a
pay
part of the
man.
side. I'm a part of the side that is for small businesses and places like that are being told to shut down, that are being told that they gotta have their kitchen a certain perimeter from this and that and everything. So that's if it is a war, think about what side you're on. I agree with that. I agree.
Well, I don't think it is. I think it's
What you
the
gonna
stuff.
do, brother?
What, brother? I think that it's more of a. Let's see.
The next podcast, I want to see evidence too of the minority stuff because that's what I've been hearing in the media narrative for a while now. There's been saying that minorities and women are more prone to get this thing. So it's the most
Hmm.
selective. It's the most selective pandemic I've ever seen in my life because the virus doesn't attack Black Lives Matter or anything like that that protest on the street, but they do attack Trump supporters that are rallying in a stadium, and they don't attack the influential, people in society that are not minorities, but they attack minorities and women and stuff. It's the most political pandemic I've ever seen in my life. How coincidental is that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that makes it look even. I'm not even a conspiracy theorist, but I've been thinking the whole time. If they were gonna make something eugenicsy, this
Yeah.
is it. This is it. But all right, to that point about Black Lives Matter, right? Um,
Fear.
two,
Don't sing in church.
two things:
Okay.
Cir- air circulation, which we know We know that's thing number one. We know that it can aerosolize. It can aerosolize for 3 hours in front of a person, right? That study's been done. So you got 6,000 or 12,000, 6,000, doesn't matter. People breathing in an uncirculated area. What happens? It's like having to explain the most simple logic to people. It doesn't happen to Black Lives Matter as much. They're wearing masks. Some of them gas masks. And a lot, even if they're socially distant, they got masks on, and they're pretty much right. And if you go outside, right, they said that the sun kills it within a minute, right?
Then why aren't they telling people to go in the sun?
Now we can talk about that.
See,
That's something
that's a
we agree with.
that's a narrative right there. All right, so if they think that going out in the sun is healthy, right? Why aren't the news reports saying that vitamin D and all this, and they're not going? They're telling people to stay home, shelter in place, quarantine, don't go outside your house. So once again, it fits their narrative. It fits their narrative of keep people in the house, keep people under control, and well, we hate Trump, so we're going to let the Trump haters go and bash police cars and all this stuff, and coronavirus magically doesn't touch them. But somehow it affects people of color. It affects people of color, but all those Black Lives Matter protests and all the people in the streets, none of them got affected. The rates went down. The death rates went down. The cases supposedly went up, but
you know that it did actually. It doesn't matter what the media says. Some people at the protest got the coronavirus. Okay, we know that. Yeah, we're not idiots, right? What happened with New York, California? They both started going up like crazy. That's where the biggest protests were: L.A. and New York.
Cases.
Yep. And somebody was like, "Well, the upticks aren't really around right there." And it's like, dude, those protests just happened. This was 2 weeks after it happened, right? So they're streets. They haven't gotten tested. They're probably not going to get tested, right? So the whole idea that, I feel like they let Black Lives Matter happen because if they didn't,
I'm just saying, such a dangerous pandemic, and why wouldn't somebody be rushing to the hospital to get tested if it's so dangerous, right?
A lot of people did though. A lot of people have been tested, and that's the point. That's why we have more cases. We have more cases because we're doing the most testing. Okay.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
People are racing to the hospital. They are.
So the deaths per 100,000 in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and they were the states that had the earliest lockdowns. They're the highest death rates in the county. So
in the country.
Not only are the lockdowns seemingly ineffective, it seems like they increase the numbers of cases.
But the only way to know that is for a state to open up early, right? And don't shut down at all, and have that same amount of cases that those states have, right? You know what I'm saying?
They're going by rate. They're going by the rate. So they're dealing with ratios and stuff.
No, what I'm trying to say is that if they have if they didn't lock down, why would you think that would make it better? Right? Why would you think that it would be decreased?
Because
then
the ones that lock down are in an atmosphere of intimidation and fear. They're less likely to go out. They're less likely to enjoy a walk in the park or anything like that. They're less likely to do anything like that. They're just going to hunker in place because the level of fear and intimidation is at an absurd level for the amount of deaths that's going on. And the ICU numbers.
It's not though, because how many people live in America, right? Talk about exponential growth. You don't want to talk about exponential growth that comes with open economy, right? You want to talk about economic hardship? If it's exponential growth and no safety measures, which is what you want, is things open, no masks, no regulation. Right? That's
Yep.
what you want. All right,
Oh yeah.
let's work that out with the numbers and with the averages. Okay? No prevention. Just let it run amok.
I didn't
Okay?
say that. If people want to mask up, they have the freedom to mask
That's
up.
what's gonna happen now. It's gonna run amok. We've seen it in Georgia. We've seen it in Florida. I'm watching it right now. We're almost at 1,000 cases in Stevens County. There's
That's
like,
what you. That's
I'm,
cases again. Who
and
died? Who died? Tell me who died.
well, I don't know. I know a few people that had it. You
Who
know,
died? Tell me who died.
that's
It's a
not the
pandemic.
point.
It's a pandemic. It's going to kill people. It's a killer. It's a monster. Who
It
died
is
from this thing?
from Stevens County or
Who died? Tell me who died. Somebody
just
near
in
you. Tell me who died.
just in general. I don't know
Yes.
anybody. I don't know
Oh
anybody.
man,
That's
I don't
good.
either. I don't either.
It's a good
That's
thing.
surprising.
Not surprising. It's good. We put in safety measures. We lock down. We put people in quarantine. We
But
control
I
better
just,
than we would have if we didn't do those things.
I
You're,
just
you're,
told you.
you're divorcing your. All of those facts are based on those measures, man. They are.
Sweden and New York both reached 0 deaths at the same time. One of them locked down, one of them didn't. Lockdown has nothing to do with the cases or anything like that. It's just going at the same pace. If it
Well,
wasn't, you'd see a discrepancy between lockdown states and
yeah.
non-lockdown states. But you're even seeing the opposite. You're seeing lockdown states that are higher than non-lockdown states. And you
Not
might
really.
say Georgia and Florida, they're cooking the books, man. They're cooking them. Come on, man.
Are they? Who? Who is?
They're cooking the books. I
You're
got
talking.
all types of
Our,
evidence that they're cooking the books.
Will.
CDC.
Will. You're telling me that Kemp, the guy that defied Trump in his conservativeness on this thing, who's all on your side, right? He is your fucking shining white knight, okay?
Not
George,
mine. I don't know
yeah,
who you think. I
yeah,
don't know why you think these
yeah,
rhinos represent
yours.
the conservative
He's
party.
speaking all the same stuff you do. He sued the mayor of Atlanta for a mask mandate. That's you, dude. All right, he's your governor right now. He's doing all the things you want him to do. Okay, he believes like you do. He
See,
didn't even.
your problem is
You're not
you
letting
don't
me
do the
finish though.
research.
I
Okay.
got all the research, dude. I'm letting you do yours first.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are really interesting.
The ICU numbers don't match up with the CDC numbers of deaths. How is this stuff? There's discrepancies everywhere.
What does that
Discrepancy.
mean?
Discrepancy.
ICU numbers don't match up with.
The
What does that
ICU,
mean?
the ICU hospital beds and stuff for like severe cases and stuff like that.
All
You know,
right.
before people die, they're going to be in a hospital bed, right?
Uh, yeah.
Yep. So they don't match up with the deaths. And the CDC has this thing, and it's confusing as hell. I looked on the CDC site, and it says excess deaths. And somehow they're doing this thing where it's weird, but they're stacking past deaths in with the other deaths, and it's just cooking the books. It's doubling the number. It's doing all types of stuff. Look it up, excess deaths in CDC. Read it. It's very confusing, but it seems like they're just guessing. They're like guessing, like the probability of these people having coronavirus is this, so we're going to put extra deaths on this amount of deaths. That's what it seems like, because like
Hmm.
computer models and stuff like that.
Well,
It was hard. It was very confusing to read it. That's why I was thinking, what the heck? If it was so simple, it wouldn't be like that. But it's called excess deaths, and studies claim that they're putting them on top of the other ones to make the numbers bigger, too. So even the deaths, we can't be sure of. You know? Oh, come on! You froze again. Oh, come on, man. Come on. I'm a Joe Biden, man. I'm a Joe Biden, man. Uh, 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 uh. Those articles, everybody, look them up. It is world's top epidemiologists agree that masks don't work. Masks don't work, and these are top epidemiologists and MDs. So check it out. Check out the false news, the fake news, the fear and the paranoia to say you're going to kill grandma and grandpa if you don't put on your mask. Check out the fake news behind more minorities and people of color are getting the coronavirus and infected by the coronavirus. Check out the politicization of all this stuff. We throw out facts, the free your mouth movement, the non-mask movement. We throw out facts. They throw out theories. Listen to my co-host, always saying his theories. What if this? What if that? I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you lab reports. I'm telling you people that don't get on the media because the media's narrative is just so. Wear a mask, shelter in place, shut the hell up, don't question the government. Dr. Fauci is God, and all big pharma cares about you and loves you. It's all a lie. It's all deceit. Get red pilled, red like this hat. Everything connects. The cast, the mask, the Phillies hat, the Eagles shirt, the red beard, the mouth odor coming from the mask, the candida in your mouth, the fungal infection that comes from your mouth as you wear that mask. It muffles your speech. That's symbolic for subjugation. Fraud. Cooking books using past deaths from April, March, and May, and then tying them to the hospitals.
Yeah.
Fraud. Where are you at, man?
I'm back. I'm back in
Golly
it.
day.
Sorry,
You
man.
can't let
Phone
you
died.
can't let
Phone died, buddy.
you can't let me have control of this thing. No,
You've already taken. You can have it.
No,
I got
you
the
got it.
spell, dude. No, it's all good. Ain't no control, man. I'm a freaking feminist, man.
So Tom Hanks made this thing worldwide and popular. Everybody's like, if Tom Hanks has it and we trust him from all those movies, they have to have it. And fear, no singing in churches. Now in North Carolina, they found a few people in the fraternities that had it. So now they're shutting down all sports for a few people that have it from the fraternity. So they're discouraging people from getting together and gathering to really
It wasn't
discuss.
just a few, dude. It wasn't just a
And
few, Will. You don't care about people's health at all. You just want to have fun, okay? And that's fine when you're a child. But guess what, dude? We're
you're a
grown
big,
people.
I'm a big
Worry
partier.
about a freaking thing.
Oh
We're not
man.
children playing. I just want to have my ball. I don't believe
Oh
your
man.
science. I want to have my ball. I want to lick my pole. All right? There's
Look
grown-ups doing decisions here.
look up
Your
the
prescription of no lockdown, no shutdown, and I'm gonna break it down. That's what I was doing before I got off. All right, we're breaking
yeah.
down your prescription of what we should be doing. Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna
it's
shut up.
this.
I'm gonna listen to
You
you.
want
Yes.
you want to hear that? All right, all right. Donald Trump says it perfectly. Do nothing. Do. You're the do nothing Republican. Wait, no, you're more of a libertarian. Do nothing Republicans. Don't do anything. Okay? Watch it kill people. It's gonna kill nurses. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, alright, is either we lock it down or it destroys the industries anyways, right? If 60 million people like who have the flu and it's just as contagious as the flu, then those people are sick. It's going to shut down the industries anyway, right? True, right? Am I right? Yes. You know I'm
I'm
right.
listening.
I don't know
I'm
why this
listening.
thing's so buggy. Is it buggy? It's still buggy, isn't it?
It's okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so if we do nothing, it's like, all right, we'll shut it down so that people don't risk a 3% chance of dying a horrible. It seems like a pretty terrible death. I don't know, not being able to breathe, horrible. So it's either do nothing and let it just run its course, get as many people sick as it possibly can. We'll get herd immunity, and then we'll have a vaccine or something. But it's not, the deaths wouldn't look like the flu. It's not like that. You're looking at 5 million, right? They're fudged, even if they're fudged, you let a
Yeah.
non-lockdown, non-safety measures go with our infection rate and we're not doing well. Okay, other countries have gotten to certain, they're doing okay. They're
Oh
not
yeah.
doing
Are
great,
they?
but they're doing better than we are.
Oh, okay. It seems like the same
Yeah, a lot
death
of them
rate.
are. So like,
Feel, I'm just going to interrupt you real quick. It just seems like it's the same, almost the same death
I
rate
mean, but
worldwide to U.S.
okay.
A fraction of 1%, and the worldwide's about 1% too. So, just go ahead.
Oh, but I'm talking about well, that's what the guy that was basically messing with Trump about it. He was talking
Mm-hmm.
about deaths per country, per capita, per person, and like it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty dang high. Like when you think about the fact that for a while there, a person was dying every 80 seconds, right? It was like thousand a day or something like that, 7,000,
That doesn't add up with the
something like
numbers.
that. It was like every 80 seconds somebody was dying in America. I think it does. Got a minute, 60 minutes, how many minutes? I don't know. But it's like, it's a lot of people, right? So then you compound that. Why would you think, is what I don't understand about the logic. If it's spreading like this, with the safety measures happening, why would you think removing those measures would be the right decision? Yeah.
Simple. There's examples.
Because it does.
I gave you examples. Sweden, Finland, Denmark,
Okay, go
Holland,
ahead.
a few others. I gave you examples.
Yeah, but look at Sweden's actual. I mean, Sweden's not doing great. I saw a
Well,
comparison to
immediate.
its other neighboring countries that did different things, and it's not good. I'm talking about. Now, I'm not talking about the media. I'm talking about just a thing that charts cases and death. And I compared them to all of them. I'll send it to you one of these days. I compared them to
Mhm.
Netherlands. I compared it to all these Denmark, all these other countries around
Yeah.
Sweden, and Sweden's the highest, right? And Sweden's tiny in the first place, so they got the highest amount of deaths per capita and cases. And you're saying that's a good thing, but then you look at England,
I
who's pretty
question
much
those
beat it.
numbers.
They're kicking ass, right? And they did something completely different. They're Republican, Tory. Yeah, you question all numbers. Then well, you can question if four exists. Does 2 + 2 = 4 equal 4?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think,
No,
Will?
it's fine.
Does
It's
2 +
fine.
2 equal 4, Will?
It's fine. It's simple math. It's
Oh,
simple math.
how do you know? I question that.
A fraction of 1%, a fraction of 1% die in the U.S. Almost a fraction of 1% die worldwide. That's simple math.
I mean,
There's nothing. There's nothing you can say about that. It's not a. It's not a death. It's not a threat
it's
of.
not
It's not
simple
the biggest.
math.
The ICU beds don't match up with the deaths. The fear media.
Right.
There's a financial incentive
What?
in the hospitals to have more coronavirus numbers. That's
You're
proven.
gonna have to explain that one. What do you mean by
They get more
we're
money.
doing that?
They get more money from the government
Uh,
for coronavirus patients. It falls in line
so
with
it's
the
all about
global
it's all about money for you. Are you talking about it's all about money?
for them. Yes,
So
they
that's
see
it
us.
for you. You're talking
No,
about it's all about.
they see us not as humans. They see us like animals.
So everybody's evil.
That's what you have to think
They're
about.
deceiving us.
No,
No one cares
not
about your
everybody.
safety but you, and they'll
You
make you
don't
safe. Well,
yeah. You don't need to have everybody evil. You just need the ones that are at the top echelon to be evil, and the rest of them do their job and don't question and wear their mask and walk around like rats in a maze and listen to every narrative that comes down the mainstream media and not
you
listen
just
to any look at the schools, man.
yeah, you
How,
hate the guy telling you about the science. Yeah, of course.
when the numbers are proven
Wait, what
false,
do
yes.
schools do?
No, kids don't get it. There's hardly any cases where a kid gets it, and there's no case I
Wait,
don't think where a kid dies, but yet they want the schools shut down. The economy is shut down. Everybody has anxiety.
what are you
Suicide
talking
rate,
about?
the
What are you
suicide rate,
talking about? Don't
the
get it.
suicide rate for the youth, the suicide rate for
Kids
the youth
don't.
is way up.
Will,
Then
what
think
are you
about
talking about, dude?
who profits.
Kids
Walmart
don't
and
get it.
Amazon. Yeah, kids don't get it. Kids don't die from it, that's for sure. Pharmaceutical cartels. They want
It's not
contact tracing,
a
digital
number.
passports, unique health identifiers. Everything is there for the new world order.
They're not
Everything.
your.
You think that these people like you? They don't like you. They treat you
You're
like that girl.
literally speaking.
They're they're treating you like that girl. They're shunning you. They're banning you from their clubs. You think they like you? They just want your money. What little you have, they want your health or your money or your opinions. They don't care about you.
That's not actually true either.
You're just a number to them, right?
Okay.
The hos- Think about this. The hospital crisis that they predicted, it didn't happen. Even in Houston, when it was
Kids
supposed to
don't
be
get it.
really
Oh
even
man, you're ridiculous.
even when look listen even in Houston where they supposedly had this big outbreak and stuff like that, right?
No,
They
like
didn't get to the second tier of their hospital beds. None of the hospitals have been overwhelmed. None of
no,
them.
I don't care. I don't think they know.
Overkill. Everybody listen to me. This mask is the only mask that is
No one
effective.
under 50.
This mask is the only one that can prevent corona.
Yep, yep. Truth. All right. So yeah, I don't even know how to. I don't know. I don't know how. I have friends that work in hospitals that have been overrun. Okay, I've got, you know, there's just so much documented evidence of them being pretty close to capacity and at full capacity all across America, Arizona, Florida. You can look at the pictures. I know you don't believe pictures anymore, but not to mention the fact that if we hadn't locked down,
Yeah,
in many different ways you've proven
yeah,
the maskers points, right? I got three different ways, two different ways, right? One thing, the mask can keep bacteria in, but it can't keep a virus in, so it rots your mouth. Two, no, that's one. That's another thing. The mask can stop your oxygen levels, but it can't stop a virus. And three is you literally just said, well, they flattened the curve. What that was the point of the lockdown. Okay,
Yeah. Yes.
that was the point. Oh, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Well, that was the point, sir. That's why they did everything they did. So you're literally helping. You're helping the people you think are destroying you. You're proving their point. They kept people. They kept
Not
more people
really.
safe. They kept people from getting it. Right? Yes,
Not
really.
what they claim. They didn't claim
Absolutely.
that. They claim
Yeah.
it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
They claim it's still ongoing. Right?
It is
Isn't
still
it still
ongoing.
ongoing?
There's people
Isn't
still
going to be a
getting cases.
isn't
People are picking up.
it's going to be a second wave, right?
No, I think Georgia's already Georgia's the most infectious state in the world right now. Okay, in America, that's where I
What a
live.
coincidence.
Okay, so you're telling me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, no one wears a mask here, Will. No one gives a fuck here. Okay.
Good for you, Georgia.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Georgia.
yeah,
Freedom.
and people are dying. Yeah, people are dying.
Oh, are
Yeah,
they? But you don't know
people are
anybody that's
sick
died.
and dying.
But you don't know anybody that's died there, though.
People are still. You're celebrating you're celebrating dum dums going out and getting a disease. That's weird,
It's the
Will. I'm not
It's
gonna
the
lie.
biggest.
It's pretty freaking strange. It's kind of
It's
it's a little bit sociopathic, to be honest with you.
It's the biggest example. You said
I
it's the
mean,
biggest
it's grief.
example of that, but you don't know anybody that's died from it. And you're in Georgia. You're in the hub of it. You're in the hub of non-mass central.
Well,
You should
only
have people.
700
You should
people
have
have
people
gotten it.
dropping like flies. You should have people dropping like flies there. You should see deaths everywhere. You should be PTSD right now. You should have trauma
Not just
beyond belief.
See, that's the thing about this desensitized bullshit, right? It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's either a catastrophe, like something no one can handle, and everybody's dying. It's a zombie apocalypse, or it's not true, or it's a hoax, or it's not risky, or it's go ahead and wear a mask in the most infectious, or not wear a mask in the most infectious state in America, right? When I get and you guys have the fucking balls. You guys have the balls to say this. You got the big old testes to say that you know that masks don't work, so you're not going to try to. You're not right. So you're like, you got to have some balls to say that, right?
And
don't
statistics, and real statistics, and real numbers, and real experiments. And real experiments and eyewitnesses from researchers and epidemiologists and MDs and countries that have masks and not masks and all these different things. It's not coming out of your ass, right?
I already said Sweden is worse than all the countries around it. And I mean that's a Trump talking point. I'm using a Trump talking point.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. It's the mainstream media talking point. Trump is not done anything. Only thing Trump's done is allow governors and stuff to decide for themselves, states to decide for themselves. So he's trying to stay neutral pretty much. I mean, most people would admit that, right? He hasn't tried to politicize it, I don't think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He said he's doing a great job.
Who? Oh, what? The
Trump.
Georgia. Who's doing a good job?
Donald Trump. He thinks that this is great, and you probably do too. You probably think, well, let's get to 1 million deaths.
The numbers are the same as the world numbers. So I don't see where we're doing anything worse. Or
are they more cases and more deaths? All right. Yeah.
Yeah, the death
Compared
rate's the
to
same, just about the
compared
same.
doesn't matter. Compared to two countries that have over 1 billion people, you got two countries that have had the
It,
pandemic. India, who is pretty pretty crowded, right? And we're doing worse than them. We're doing worse than China.
well,
I don't know about
I can't.
China's numbers, but I know about India's numbers. Talking about India, bro. I'm talking about 1 billion people, and we
Let,
have a third the amount of people and like double their cases. All right, so you tell me that's a good job
let me
because
ask you something.
we should have herd immunity so everybody can if you beat it you beat it if you die you die.
Yeah, that's another
That's what
thing.
you think.
Herd immunity. Dr. Fauci said we can't do herd immunity because if you got to get up to 70%
Mm-hmm.
immune, and if 70% get it, you're going to have millions die. Right? He said that. New York, New York Times just came out with a study saying, well, we must herd immunity might be 50% or 40%. We're not sure. So the scientists aren't sure. They admit it in your mainstream media news, but yet you still think that these numbers they don't doctor. There's evidence that they doctor the numbers. There's all types of things. So what is it going to take you to believe that the numbers that you're quoting are false numbers? If
What
you
number?
see evidence of doctoring and stuff, what's it going to take to convince you that they're lying to you? That's why I say, how can you
I've
believe
already
any of these numbers?
I've already said it to you, dude. I've already said I'll give you
All you're
say.
doing is giving me the CDC numbers, right? That's all
Oh,
you're doing, right?
no, you're missing my point. I'm saying that I've said to you that I'll give you that, right? So I'll so say it's 100. They say that it's like 190,000 right now, and whenever I
Yeah.
debate people, I'm like, all right, I'll give you 90,000 that they doctored, which I think is pretty high. But even if it's only 100,000 people, that's still terrible, and it's still worse than the flu, and it's still, if everybody got it, if everybody had it, there'd be a lot more people dead. We know that because it's on the same track across the world, 3%. So this idea, they spread misinformation that kids can't get it, right? And they do. It's 7% of
Where are the
cases
dead kids?
are
Where are the
kids.
dead kids?
I'm not saying that they die from it. A kid died in Georgia
Yeah, Georgia
earlier
didn't like
last week. He
Georgia
was
wasn't
9
playing
years
with the
old.
narrative. It's what a coincidence that Georgia was the last one to go along with the regulations, and then suddenly Georgia's
And
numbers
the first
shoot up.
I'm the first one to open up too, though. So
That's
they
what I
opened
said.
back up.
And then they shoot up. What a coincidence that is.
Yeah,
That
but
tells me
yeah, that's
that you're
what
not going
science
along with
is.
the
Jesus, Will. Oh
what
my
about
God.
what about those
Oh,
500 MDs and epidemiologists that say masks don't work? What about their opinion?
yeah, you
Have,
gotta send me that. I haven't read. I haven't read it. I don't know.
yeah,
I
that's a
wish we
good
could put it on the
discussion, man.
screen. Are you
Yeah, I
going to
know that
work?
would be good. I got too soon. Yeah, I got about 10 more minutes. You
Hey,
gave me a
check
lot
your
of
facts.
food for thought, huh?
Yeah, man. You did too. Yeah, you did too, man. You
Yeah.
freaking nihilist. You dang nihilist.
No, I don't want to
Oh,
see people destroyed.
well, yeah, you look at that smile, bro.
I want to see
Bring
people freed. I want to see people free of this oppression
the
of.
oppression is the disease, you jackass. All right. You remember that. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your freedom for the health of others. And that's what Jesus would do. All right? It's
I don't
Jesus.
know about that.
I know about that. I'm pretty sure he died for you, so get over it.
I
Oh,
don't
Jesus
know if
would wear a
I don't
mask.
know if he would mask up. He would say
Jesus,
the truth will set you free.
Jesus wouldn't wear a mask. He freaking died for you. You freaking selfish. No, I'm just messing with you. Jesus
He would
wouldn't wear a mask. He took whippings for me. He wouldn't wear
he
a
would
mask, though.
he would say the truth will set you free.
All right. So
What
what you're saying is the truth is that masks don't work to stop the virus.
Well, there's studies. There's studies. I'm saying that there's an opposing viewpoint, and the media is only letting you have one viewpoint.
Yeah,
So they're not
that's
even letting
great.
they're not even letting people decide.
Yeah,
And when people aren't
uh,
deciding, why? Why are they so scared of hydroxychloroquine
be,
discussions? Why are they
because
so, why are they
because
not saying
people.
go out in the sun? You
Well,
know,
I don't know about that. They should be saying that. I think that's
they
gross.
they they want to feed you big pharma. They want you sick. They want you in hospitals. They want you eventually dead. But before you die, they're going to squeeze every little partial and portion of everything out of you. Like this surgery, they wanted
Hmm,
$15,000 to work on.
that's right.
15,000, and it's went. I know it went up because of coronavirus. It's like, well, it's the coronavirus. It's this time when we have to put up the price. I mean, they're making. Just think about who profits from this stuff. Small businesses. I'll end with this. I'll end with this. These statistics right here, and then I have to go. All right,
Oh,
who prop? Who prop?
I'm Will. I'm just gonna listen. No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I know. I should.
Uh,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry about that.
it's all good. Go ahead, dude.
Okay, who profits and who is hurting? The media obviously profits. Anderson Cooper gets $15,000 an episode, something crazy like that. Can you imagine making that much money? Doing what he does is just on a teleprompter. Like
Sounds fine.
we're doing just
Yeah,
as good as Anderson Cooper, I think, you know. Big companies, Walmart, McDonald's,
probably just as many lies, dude. Probably just as many lies as Anderson Cooper. All
yeah,
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Amazon, all that stuff. The alcohol sales are up 600%. So people
Of
are
course.
drinking more. Everybody has anxiety. And as small business owners, around 60,000 businesses have folded since March 1st. This is New York Times. So if you want to believe it, I don't know. It could be more, it could be less, depending on their agenda. But why
You
would you
guys
lie about
nitpick.
that?
You nitpicking. You always nitpicking, bro. I
60,000
believe
businesses.
you.
60,000 businesses folded since March 1st, according to Yelp, who, basically that's what their business is. Yelp is small businesses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Researchers at Harvard believe the rates of business closures are likely to be even higher than that because some people just go out of business and they don't report it. So they might
Right.
not know until next year or 2 years what the government, how many they went out. The numbers are probably higher than that because you can't reach everybody for comment. Um, so who's being hit? Who's being hit? Among the track business, restaurants, beauty supply stores, independent consumer facing relations, and that type. So basically anything that's independent that deals with customers on a face to face basis.
Yeah,
So
anything that can be automated.
those big corporations don't need to do that, and they're getting more money because the big corporations are making people work at home. They're using their own electricity, they're using all their own technology. Those big businesses are making bank from this stuff. And
Mm.
Amazon, I can't even imagine how much Amazon's making. And stocks are going up because people have inside trading and information and stuff. What companies are going to fail? What are going to get big? Well, guess who's getting big? It's pretty easy to predict that.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
when those small businesses go under, this is what you're going to have: lower cash flow, higher debt, and more unemployment. So recovery is going to be even slower because of this. The big corporations own everything anyway. And Trump did the paycheck protection program, but there's only certain things that it can do. And it still doesn't guarantee you don't go under because well, just the rules they got it set up where I don't like how Trump and his business partners did that, or whoever came up with this. It's almost like you have to be at a certain capacity or something, or you can't get the loan. And even if you get the loan, you have to use it for what they want you to use it for. So that doesn't guarantee your business stays afloat. And the governors are doing the second shutdown and stuff, and a lot of that just sunk businesses. They're like, if the governor shuts down again, we can't stay in business. So there's a lot of examples like that. And my
Mm-hmm.
friend, half of New York population is moving away. That's how good they did. So they're going. So what is New York going to become? Because without the people there, the real estate stuff and all that, it is just up for grabs. What is going to happen with New York? And
Well, you know what's going to happen. The millions of homeless, because they couldn't pay their rent, are going to move into those high rises.
yeah, they're going to be in New York. That's going to be
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. And I would say all of that could be, and they have the potential to come together and really save the economy. Like the government, the representatives have been taking our money for years.
Yeah.
It's time for them
No
to get.
argument there.
It's time for them to give that money back and save our asses because they made us shut down in the first place. So I feel like all that stuff, the people being hit. This is why I think you'll get on board with this point. Look, we got 5 viewers finally. What's up, guys? Cheers. Uh, Bernie Sanders and some other, even Republicans, right? They want to tax the wealth gained by the top 1%, basically, the top 10 billionaires, tax that wealth. That's enough money. And then, get this, right? The money that Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all those people made after the pandemic started is enough money to pay everybody like $2,000 a month, right? Bezos is getting exponentially richer. So he's saying tax that money, that wealth that he got during a depression and a pandemic, and give it to the people, right? And give it to those small businesses, right? So basically, you're saying, look who's being helped by this. Well, you can finally agree with Bernie a little bit,
I don't
right?
agree.
Because that
The only
balance. Oh,
it's
come on.
I don't agree that he would
Come
do
on,
that.
dude. It balances the scales of what you're immediately talking about.
I
Get
just
out of
don't.
here. Look who's
Just like
being hit. Look who's being. Oh, Bernie Sanders. Oh no, I don't like Bernie.
no,
He's
I
got
don't.
got a good idea to balance the scales in this pandemic time. Oh
Yeah,
no, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. So what's your point? What do you think?
I say that we stop
Print more money?
masking. I say that we stop masking and just open up the businesses and
and
let the chips
everybody's
fall.
gonna and everybody's gonna get sick and it's gonna close down anyway. That makes no sense, Will. That makes no sense, dude. That makes
Yep.
absolutely no sense at all.
Well, I
Sorry.
spent 2 hours making that sense and making that
No,
argument. I think people are going to see my side, the statistics, the testing, the all the
no,
stuff.
dude. You
Oh
have
yeah.
some. I
Oh
also
yeah.
poke holes. I poke some holes. You know.
Hey, I
All
poked some
right.
holes. You poked
Yeah.
holes in my theory, yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't take into variables of what those people without masks were doing. If you had 320
You
quarantined unmasked people,
you convinced me. You convinced
right?
me to wear my mask. You should be honored from it. I'm wearing my mask. You convinced me.
I don't care. I honestly do not care if people that don't wear masks get coronavirus. I don't care. They're grown people. They know what they're doing. Okay. I do care if those people accidentally make someone else sick. That's assault. That's what it is
I am
nowadays.
he- I am here to kill the elderly with my with
Oh,
my with my asymptomatic symptoms here. I am here to destroy the
oh,
elderly. Old
oh,
people that have health risk, you better not get around me because I am asymptomatic. And I tell you what, I'm going to look for every single opportunity. When you're in the grocery store, when you're in the bathroom, I'm just going to come behind you and I'm going to go,
hmm.
and you're
All
just
right,
going to
I
perish.
want. All right, I got something. I got a rant for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to
And
hear it. I'm sorry, I was rambling tonight. I'm going to let you, the next
hey,
one we
Craig,
have, it's going to be
that's
all
what
hands off. I'm going to be hands off completely.
that's what we have. That's what we're here for. Um, Once again, in my opinion, the not only hypocrisy of the religious right is exposed, but the pure hatred of science and the other and love of material gain
Yet I
It's
gave more
just,
signs.
yeah, but you wouldn't. I mean, when did I have time? And I also tried to share it. I have a bunch of stuff. I could send it to you, but
Yeah, yeah.
that's for the next episode, right? You gave your argument, I'll give mine.
Yes, yes,
Sweet. Because obviously the stats are in my favor because
yes, yes, they
so
are.
because it's how people have thought since for a long time.
Yes.
That's how doctors protect patients. Anyways, well, that'll be next week. So basically, the government asks someone to wear a piece of cloth over their mouth to stop the potential spread of an illness. Exactly that thing, right?
Yes.
And when you think with your heart, right, and you think with the Bible, and this is purely a spiritual rant, okay? Do they work? There's a debate on that because it's a new thing. We don't
Hmm.
really know.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people that say they do, there's people that say they don't. But there's people, I think it has to do with the other person, right? And your surroundings, okay? Like, but at the same time, it's asking people to be selfless, right? It's not always like a mandate of slavery. Like, what does that do for them? Nothing. Don't breathe too much outside. That doesn't help the government in any way. Actually, I don't know. It doesn't. It makes people more angry at the government. It doesn't help them really. So that's the thing is like, what's the benefit of making people or suggesting that people try to protect their neighbor, right? And that's where I'll go into neighborliness, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? So
Hmm.
nobody in their right mind would want someone to breathe on them when they could potentially have a deadly virus, right?
Hmm.
Nobody.
Hmm.
So you don't want that. You don't want a corona guy to breathe down your neck. Maybe you do actually get it and beat it and then get the antibodies. But there's a bunch, and it's like, dude, this happened with Donald Trump. It happened with back with Bush. It's like the religious right are always on the wrong side of empathy, right? They even call us snowflakes for feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, do we read the same Bible, right? Like Jesus was also he was both a hard ass, but he was also like he was very feelings based. He's a loving guy. He's all about others, right? He's about caring about others. There's a thing that he talked about that wasn't talked about much before that, and it's called compassion, right?
Hmm.
You know the root word of compassion, right?
Hmm.
Oh, it's like I feel your pain in my gut is what it means.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so that's it. You feel their pain, right? So it's like a golden rule thing. It's all this stuff. Like I don't think. Here's what I think. I think the mass should be a debate about freedom and liberty. It should not be.
Yeah, I agree.
And I was reading about it. That's what I'll end it with. Is that I was reading
Just,
about
just part
19.
one.
Yeah, exactly. Part two. Uh, the masks in 1918, right? And that mask thing was
Hmm.
hilarious, bro. It was funny.
Oh.
Um, mask in 1918. They had actual. I think I told you about this, right? They had streamlined, and it wasn't partisan. It was basically like liberty people. It's like I'm not going to wear a mask. You can't make me. This is America, right? So
Uh-huh.
like, and it was maybe what they said was 13%, but it wasn't on party lines. It wasn't like, well, God's going to take care of me. It's like both of them. It wasn't as divided. It was basically just freedom to not wear a mask, people that choose to wear a mask. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And that's
yeah.
what I think we divided on. I don't think it's a good look for Christians to be all congregated on the side of uh
Mhm.
if at any even if the science isn't really there, which I'm not seceding it that it isn't because I got a lot, but even if it isn't, it's about caring for somebody else's feelings, right? And that might be a sissy thing to say, but I feel like Jesus would be like, yeah, sure, I'll fuck, I don't care, you know, sure, I'll put
Yeah,
a mask on
yeah.
20
No,
minutes.
I get it.
It doesn't hurt
Yeah,
my feelings at all, right? If it makes
yeah.
you feel better, I'll do it. Like I sat with Allie and she immediately put her mask on. Like the only person in Java Station doing that, you know. And I put my mask on with her, you know. But then I took it off, and I was sitting there with all the unmasked masks. I remember I sat there,
Unmasked masses.
the unmasked masses, bro. I looked out at the Java Station before I was. Well, I might have been creeping then too, but so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking maybe I'm the asshole, right? Because I was like, they're all there with their families. It's packed. No one's wearing a mask. People in the
Yeah,
cooks aren't wearing a mask. They're all moving on with their life. And
yeah,
Georgia's the #1
yeah.
infectious state.
You
And I'm
told
like,
me.
mate, yeah, okay, gotcha. I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'm the asshole, you know, and maybe I need to go home. Like I'm not. It's not like I'm scared. I'm just like, obviously this is not healthy. But if they want to
Yeah,
continue with their life, maybe I'm the dick. Maybe I just need to get out of here, you know,
yeah,
because that's how I feel about it. Kind of. It's like, do you want to congregate, do all that stuff? Go ahead, but wash your hands, dude. Stay away from your grandma and stay away from your grandmas, man. That's it.
oh, I'm a grandma killer. They better look out for me.
You
I'm a
spreader.
I'm an asymptomatic assassin.
You
I'm going.
spreader.
I'm gonna tear it up. No, that's
Just
good. No, you're
yeah,
right. The compassion part is right because you're supposed to. People are held accountable for what they know.
yeah,
So
exactly.
why
And
I'm
it's such
so
a small
anti-mask,
thing.
and like what you said is the body part. The body parts are different. So everybody's a different body part. So somebody
Mm,
could be a hammer, and then somebody could be a glue gun. I
that's
happen to
right.
be a ball pen hammer, probably, if you think about it, or a sawzall or something.
All
Like,
right,
but
dude, get to work, right?
yeah, that was good. That was I got you, man. The compassion part definitely.
Oh
We
yeah.
got to have that. That's for sure.
It's
So
just it's all about situational awareness, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll close with just verifying what you said. My buddy, the small group leader,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he said. He said that God told him that that's how he needs to conduct himself, why he's doing his certain job to go along
Hmm.
with their policies, even though he's not, even though he thinks that it's ridiculous. So
Yeah, I think it's
he's doing
ridiculous to
that.
wear a shirt too. I
So
really
he's
do, actually.
so he's doing that with compassion. He's doing that by compassion. He's trying to be a witness to others through their situation. So because people are really
Mm,
scared, because people are really scared of this thing because it's their life that they're, you know.
right.
So yeah, man. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm gonna get to work, but
All
that
right,
was
dude.
awesome, brother. No
Yeah,
hard
man.
feelings or anything.
Oh, what? Come on, man. I'm from the north.
Great,
You're from the north. We're
great
both
debate.
northern.
Great debate, brother. And I did listen
Cheers.
a lot to you. You gave me a lot to think about because I am going to wear this bad boy at work tonight.
All
So
right. Get it done, brother. See you,
part
brother.
one, part one's done, my
Part
son.
one. Peace.